Senator Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for your focus on driving a state authorization bill every year. I think you and the ranking member, the members of this committee, have a real opportunity here. And in particular, in close consultation with Ambassador Verma, should he be confirmed, and I look forward to supporting your nomination, to focus on some of the operational issues that Senator Ricketts was just raising, issues around workforce, recruitment, retention, diversity, whether or not the embassies we have around the world are striking the right balance between security and engagement, whether or not we're finding the right people for the right roles, and whether, given some of the very demanding environments in which our diplomats operate, whether or not we're making it a attractive work environment and a successful and productive career environment. So if I could, from the Modernization Initiative, Mr. Ambassador, modernizing training and professional development and shifting the State Department's culture toward decisive leadership and agility. I, as a county executive, had a responsibility over the arc of 10 years in county government for a workforce that was very bureaucratic, very heavily controlled by a series of civil service protections. Hiring was very difficult. Knowledge transfer was difficult. There wasn't a lot of, I would say, decisive agility. And the training and professional development and the ability to deliver customer services well was something I also focused a lot on. We did end up with some green belts from Six Sigma training in partnership with DuPont. I think I succeeded mostly in confusing the county employees who I encouraged to participate in this. I came out of a manufacturing background. There are disciplines and there are experts in how to motivate and engage and mobilize and sustain global workforces from diverse backgrounds. I'd be interested in where you think we might make the greatest contributions to sustaining a high quality and effective workforce, but making progress in these two areas, in training and professional development and in shifting culture towards leadership and agility. Both of these interest me a great deal.
Senator, on the second one, on shifting the culture, on more kind of decisive leadership and leading in the face of risk and not being risk averse. Again, I will tell you from my experience in New Delhi, I saw a very engaged and active State Department that wanted to be everywhere. In fact, we went to every Indian state the first time a mission had done that. We landed on 3 aircraft carriers. We flew over the Himalayas. We were on the border, contested border with China. Now, that was what the department wanted to do, and I think that is the culture of the department. They don't want to be behind big walls. They don't want to be away from city centers. And over time, you know, the pendulum swung back to the kind of risk aversion as opposed to leading in the face of risk. And I think the department's heart and gut is really about being out and being engaged. So I'm actually quite confident on that. If we do it right, and again, taking the safety and security of our families and the workforce top of mind, there is a way to do this, and I think it fits well with the culture. On the training and professional development, I think good progress has been made, actually. There's now, for the first time ever, 1,100 members of the Foreign Service in a training float for 4 to 6 months where they will actually get professional training. We have new mid-level training for folks, and this is actually important not only to give people the skills, it also is a retention factor as well. So couldn't agree with you more. There's a lot we can do in this area. I continue to believe this is the best diplomatic corps in the world, but they want and deserve these kind of up-to-date training modules, which I think we can deliver.
Well, thank you. As the chairman of the Appropriations Subcommittee that funds the State Department, I look forward to working more closely with you. I think there's been a lot of discussion about risk tolerance in some of the more challenging posts, in Chad, in Mali, in other countries I visited in recent years. We had built, in some cases around the continent of Africa, new fortresses well removed from the downtown, better protected against potential attack. but I met with career professionals who were deeply frustrated at the inability to go out and engage and have an impact. And we face a strategic competitor in China that is flooding the zone with agile and engaged diplomats and development professionals. And we need to meet that challenge in a way that strikes the right risk tolerance. I think the department may have overlearned some lessons from recent years, and I think we have a role to play in providing resources, staffing, and direction on how to strike that risk tolerance balance.
Senator, I agree with you, and I do think it is changing. I understand last year alone, 95% of all requests made to diplomatic security to move around were approved. So that's a good indicator.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.